Shalom. All praises to the Most High, Noka said. Praise be to the Holy Spirit, the Kahi, in the name of his only begotten Son, Motsah the Lamb, unification to the nation. It's going to be part 3 of the video, or the series that I'm doing regarding the ancient Mexicans. And this is not really going to be a historical video as much as it's really a prophetical and scriptural video. So first we're going to begin with the nation that was here before the Toltecs came, which was the Kakashital. So they were here before the tribe of Issachar came to Mexico and pretty much dominated them and ruled. Now you'll notice that the Kakashital, they're a lot more brown skinned, darker, they look like that pretty much. And they're also, I think they have some sort of Jaredite origin of some sort. I think everyone in Mexico, as well as the Americas, has some sort of Jaredite relation and origin. That's why I don't get too caught up in, like who's who and you look like this, you look like that, because it's not necessarily about that. We were relatively mixed up before anyone got here, but for the most part, they were, I'd say that they were still the seed line of Israel, judging just simply based on how they're treated today. But was every single person here from the descendant of Jacob? I don't think so. But this video, we're focusing on the Toltecs. So if you guys don't know, Tola is one of the sons of Issachar, and Tex means the assembly. So they are the assembly of Issachar. It's like the Ashanti of West Africa. Ashan is one of the tribes of Judah, and T, I think it means sons or something of the same sort. So they're the sons of Ashan, which is one of the tribes of Judah. Do you understand? So this is what this is from Real History WW, and of course, they give you a good perspective, but they come from the perspective of everyone was black, and I understand that, yes, everyone was melanated, but I don't use terms like black. That's a Babylonian term. But either way, they also spoke Nahuatl before the Toltecs came, so that lets me know that those people, the Kakashital, they were Hebrews as well. People before them, they were as well. So these, people kept overthrowing each other pretty much. They said they were militaristic and nomadic. But this is where things start to get very disturbing. These are pictures of them wearing the human skin of sacrificed victims. They are literally wearing their skin. They were doing some incredibly wicked things. And you can also tell, they look a little bit more Asian as well. They have a bit more sharper features. Again, the Northern Kingdom is going to look like everyone else. They're going to still they're not going to look like white people, because they aren't indigenous to the earth. But they're going to look like Ham and Japheth as well as Shem. But it says, above and to the right, we have a priest wearing the skin of a sacrificed victim, a living human clothed in sacrificial victim skin. This is clearly visible around the mouth and waist. This type of image is among the most awesome and most disturbing ever created by Mesoamerican artists. It expresses the deeply held belief that death is necessary to life. Accordingly, such figures were associated with fertility, rain, and the springtime renewal of the earth's vegetation. Perhaps the wearer, upon shedding the skin, was perceived as a sprout emerging from the withered husk. Such figures also had military meanings. So these people were savages. Like I said in the last video how that dude was trying to say how black people are savages from Africa. This is savagery. Because we're all savages. We all became savages. But this is just pure savagery. And we're going to go to the Testament of Issachar. So, Issachar, his name means for hire. And the first chapter explains that the reason why he's called that is because he was he was he's the product of one of these hires that happened between Rachel and Leah, because Jacob was Rachel's husband. Leah was the person on the side, and Rachel couldn't have children. So Jacob wasn't necessarily having sex with Leah as much as he was with Rachel. So Rachel, she said, well, give me 2 of your mandrakes so I can have 2 children. And I'll let you have, Jacob for 2 nights pretty much. So that's really what happened. So that is why he was called Issachar. So Issachar, his whole thing is to, work hard, rest hard. That's his whole thing. Work, make a humble living for yourself. That's kind of his whole thing. That's what he was trying to impart to his children. And you see this among a certain group of people. He also tells them not to curse the tribes of Levi and Judah and to follow them, because he gave Levi the priesthood and Judah the kingdom. I just showed you that the Zapotec / the Afro-Mexicans are being mistreated by the tribe of Issachar. Well, I didn't really show you that, but I was implying it, because certain Mexicans, they mistreat the darker skinned Mexicans, which probably are descendants of the tribe of Judah. But now I wanted to pay attention to this. Now ye, therefore, my children, that in the last times your sons will forsake singleness and will cleave unto insatiable desire. So they're going to completely flip everything. Leaving all guilelessness, will draw near to malice, and forsaking the commandments of the Most High, they will cleave to Beliar. Now, this is very interesting, because who is Beliar? I looked it up. And it can mean all these different names. Bethor, Baalel, Belial, and so forth. And it comes from the Hebrew word meaning the wicked one. And it's Satan's most venerable demons. In fact, before the New Testament firmly established Satan as the leader of the forces of evil, Belial was the one in charge. Excuse me. So he would be like the son of Satan, or Samael, or Beelzebub, or the Baphomet. Right? He is the prince. And I'm going to read to you what exactly you have to do in order to serve him. When summoned, Belial appears as 2 angels, sometimes only one, sitting on a chariot of fire, and he is believed to provide good familiars and to cause favors of friends and foes, but offerings and sacrifices must be made in his honor. Sounding familiar? Notorious mass murderer Gilles de Reyes is thought to have attempted to raise Belial and Beelzebub using the severed body parts of his sacrificial children victims. Whoa, severed body parts. Sacrificed children. Got it. Got it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So who are these people? Are they the sons of Issachar? Now, in this video that I've done a long time ago, please don't watch this video, but I brought out the fact that Kurameo brought out that the Toltecs had a Pacific look to them. So in general, the Toltecan family may be described as good stature, well proportioned, rather above medium head, of a light copper color, and having long black obliquely pointed eyes. So they had Asiatic eyes, but they were big Asiatic eyes. Regular white teeth, glossy black hair, thin beard, prominent cheekbones, thick lips, large alkaline nose, and retreating forehead. A gentle expression about the mouth, is blended with severity and melancholy in the upper portion of the face. They are brave, cruel in war, sanguinary in religion, and revengeful. They are intelligent, possess minds well adapted to the pursuit of knowledge, and at the time of the arrival of the Spaniards were well advanced in history, architecture, mathematics, and astronomy. So these were very advanced people mentally, and the Most High turned them into slaves. Because you can look up Mexicans for hire, they're everywhere. Everyone looks as Mexicans as that's the people you hire. What's Issachar's name? It means for hire. This stuff's not a coincidence. This is what they were doing to serve their power, because they turned away from the Most High. They were eating people, like I showed you. Let's get into these scriptures and I'm going to end the video. This is Psalm chapter 106, verses 32 to 48. By the waters of Meribah they angered the Most High, and trouble came to Moses because of them, for they rebelled against the Spirit of the Most High, and rash words came from Moses' lips. Now this is, talking about the other Levites, as well as some other tribes that were joining in as like to form some sort of coup. So it's not singling out the tribe of Levi, but let's continue. The tribe of Issachar. They did not destroy the peoples as the Lord had commanded them, but they mingled with the nations and adopted their customs. So that's not talking about the tribe of Levi. Or maybe it is. It could, honestly. But this is what we were doing in general. This is what the Northern Kingdom was doing. Southern Kingdom did it as well during the Greeks. They worshipped their idols, which became a snare to them. They sacrificed their sons and their daughters to false gods. Got it. They shed innocent blood, the blood of their sons and daughters, whom they sacrificed to the idols of Canaan. Did you know that this is a Canaanite god? Did you know that? Wow. It's all kind of lining up, isn't it? And the land was desecrated by their blood. Got it. Got it. Thank you for letting me know, David. Maybe this is what David was literally talking about. Now, I know the Toltecs didn't arrive here, but maybe they're doing this in Mexico already. They defiled themselves by what they did. By their deeds, they prostituted themselves. Therefore, the Most High was angry with his people and abhorred his inheritance. He gave them into the hands of the nations, and their foes ruled over them. Their enemies oppressed them and subjugated them to their power. Many times he delivered them, but they were bent on rebellion, and they wasted away in their sin. Yet he took note of their distress when he heard their cry. That's how merciful the Most High is. For their sake he remembered his covenant, and out of this great love he relented. He caused all who held them captive to show them mercy. So what they did actually was mercy. They wanted to do even more. All praises to the Most High, Anoka said, who is loving kindness. This is Micah chapter 3, verses 2 to 4. Who hate the good and love the evil, who pluck off their skin from off them, and their flesh from off their bones. Who also eat the flesh of my people, and flay their skins from off them, and they break their bones and chop them in pieces, as for the pot and as flesh within the cauldron. Got it. Got it. Got it. Then shall they cry to the Most High, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time. That's the 70 shepherds. as they behave themselves ill in their doings. Now the Most High also sent the Spaniards to do the same thing, cutting out vaginas and wearing them as hats and wearing our skin. That's all we were doing. Don't get mad at them. We were doing the same thing. Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 8 through 9. I will devastate this city and make it an object of horror and scorn. All who pass by will be appalled and will scoff because of its wounds. I will make them eat the flesh of their sons and daughters, and they will eat one another's flesh, because their enemies will press the siege so hard against them to destroy them. This happened so many different times. But this also happened in Mexico. Happened everywhere. But it happened in Mexico as well. They were just like, okay, you want to sacrifice your sons and daughters? Now I'm going to force you to do it, because you're not going to have any food. Crazy. Isaiah chapter 9, verses 19 and 20. Through the wrath of the Most High of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. And he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. This is the greed that was all over the Americas. We have all of this stuff, and you're still greedy. That's incredible. Last one, Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 9 and 10. And I will do in thee that which I have not done, and whereunto I will not do any more the like, because of all thine abominations. Therefore the fathers shall eat the sons in the midst of thee, and the sons shall eat their fathers, and I will execute judgments in thee, and the whole remnant of thee I will scatter into all the winds. Now let's go back to this. And leaving husbandry, they will follow after their own wicked devices, and they shall be dispersed among the Gentiles, and shall serve their enemies. And do you therefore give these commands to your children, that if they sin, they may the more quickly return to the Most High, for he is merciful, and he will deliver them, even bring them back into their land. So we've all been scattered. We've all gone through hell. But listen, to me, this fits these people perfectly. I don't know who else they fit, but, that's just my opinion. Shalom.